I woke up from a coma, and my wife asked me to sign divorce papers before asking if I was okay. Vanessa was everything I ever wanted. Beautiful, ambitious, the kind of woman who walked into a room and owned it. We met at a mutual friend's wedding, danced until 2 a.m., and I knew by the end of that night I was going to marry her. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. Her parents loved me. My parents loved her. We bought a house, adopted a golden retriever, planned our whole future together. She had one thing about her that always bothered me, though. Money. Not that she didn't have it, but that she always wanted more. She tracked every dollar I made, asked about my 401k constantly, pushed me to work overtime even when I was exhausted. I thought she was just being practical, planning for our future kids, our retirement. I told myself it was a good thing to have someone so financially focused. I was so blind. 3 years into our marriage, I started getting headaches. Bad ones. The kind that made me see spots and lose my balance. Vanessa told me to take some Advil and stop complaining. When I finally went to the doctor on my own, they found a brain aneurysm. I needed emergency surgery. The doctor said without intervention, I had maybe 2 weeks before it ruptured. I called Vanessa from the hospital parking lot, shaking, crying, telling her I might die. She asked if our life insurance premiums were current. I thought I misheard her. I asked her to repeat herself. She said it again, slower, like I was stupid. The premiums, Derek, are they current? Because if something happens and we're not covered, that's a huge problem. I sat in my car for an hour after that call, just staring at nothing. The surgery was scheduled for the following week. Vanessa came to exactly one pre-op appointment, spent the entire time on her phone, and left early for a work meeting. My mom flew in from across the country. My brother took time off. My coworker Priya, who I'd only known for 8 months, brought me homemade soup and sat with me for 3 hours talking about everything except the surgery because she knew I needed the distraction. The night before the operation, I asked Vanessa to stay with me. She said hospitals made her uncomfortable and she'd be there first thing in the morning. She wasn't. I went into surgery with my mom holding my hand, my wife nowhere in sight. The last thing I remember before going under was wondering if she'd even notice if I didn't wake up. I woke up 23 days later. The surgery had complications. I stroked out on the table, spent over 3 weeks in a medically induced coma. The first face I saw was my mom's, tears streaming down her cheeks, whispering that I was okay, that I made it. I couldn't speak, could barely move, but I was alive. I looked around the room expecting to see Vanessa. She wasn't there. My mom's face changed when I tried to ask about her. She just squeezed my hand and said we'd talk later. That night, Vanessa finally showed up. She didn't hug me, didn't cry, didn't say she was glad I was alive. She sat down in the chair next to my bed, pulled a folder out of her bag, and slid papers onto my lap, divorce papers. She said she'd been thinking, and this whole situation made her realize we wanted different things. She asked me to sign before the nurses came back. I still had a tube in my throat. I couldn't even ask her why. My brother walked in right then. He saw the papers, saw my face, and something in him snapped. He asked Vanessa what the hell she was doing. She said it wasn't his business. He grabbed the papers off my lap and read them out loud. She wasn't just asking for divorce. She was asking for the house, my retirement accounts, and claiming I was mentally unfit to manage my own finances due to my brain injury. She'd had a lawyer draft everything while I was unconscious. My brother lost it. He told her to get out before he called security. She stood up, straightened her jacket, looked at me, and said the house better be empty by the time I was discharged. Security escorted her out 4 minutes later. I found out from Priya, who'd visited me every single day of my coma, that Vanessa had already moved her boyfriend into our guest bedroom. They'd been together for over a year. The divorce went through, but not the way Vanessa planned. My lawyer got everything thrown out. She got nothing. I got the house, the dog, and my life back.